A couple times a year, I spend time specifically praying about the future of our church. 4 years ago, that's when God just really laid on my heart for a preschool, that was something we needed to do. This past June, when I was in that time of prayer, God kind of woke me up to some things and made it pretty clear. I sensed him saying that we needed to start thinking about preparing for the next 20 or 30 years of our church. And that included who the next lead pastor would be. So I took that back to our elders and I said, guys, one, I'm not done, okay? I'm not ready to walk away or anything, but I think we need to start thinking about this because I think good leadership plans for the future. And so they began praying with me all of last year. We began to pray what that might look like and how that might happen. And so we've been in that progress of prayer. And our goal now, how we see that playing out, is we would really like to have somebody on staff here by this fall that would step into that position on staff, into a position on staff with the idea that they would transition sometime next year into being our lead pastor. And so why are we telling you that today? We want you to pray. Pray for wisdom about that. Pray for the leaders. Man, they have spent so many hours taking this so seriously, our elders, about this. And I so appreciate their future thinking and that they didn't think I was crazy when I came and said, oh, listen, I still want to be on staff another 5 years, but I don't want to be in the same seat on the bus. I think it's best for the church if we start doing that. And they were so open to that. And so be in prayer. That's what we're looking at. I'm excited about it, about what God's going to do in this place. Some questions people ask, Gary, what are you going to do? When Jeff Metzger hired me 32 years ago, I said, what's my job description? And he said, use your giftedness. I've used that as a philosophy for all of our staff through the years. You see different ones doing different things because they're gifted. I've been the discipleship pastor, I've been the small groups pastor, I've been the children's pastor, and I've been a teaching pastor. I don't know what my next role is going to be, but it's going to be fun. And maybe I'll be in the cafe. Would that be? Actually, I think God is opening the door, and I'm praying for him to place it on Sean's heart that we have a full-time harmonica player in the praise band. That would be something that'd be pretty sweet too. But my philosophy has always been, man, I'm here to serve, and whatever God gives, he's going to write a great story. So our timeline, again, we really are hoping to have somebody that we can introduce to you sometime and have them here in the summer or fall. And then we just begin growing in that process. And again, God's going to determine that timeline for that. Somebody said, well, what about somebody already on staff? I'm like, that was our intense prayer for the first 3 or 4 months. Should we go that direction? And we felt God pretty clearly saying, you got some great staff, but for the health and the church, you ought to go after somebody who has proven themselves and got some experience in a bigger venue that is leading a church that's impacting. We're like, do you know how hard it's going to be to get somebody from a church that's bigger to come here? But God's opening doors. So we've been in a national search for about 8 or 9 months, and God's processing through that at the same time. So those things are going great. I don't know, there's some other questions you probably have. There are no bad ones. The elders are all available. In fact, there's a fact sheet that we've made up with 5 or 6 questions on it. You can pick one up in the lobby today if you want. You can ask us any question at any time. I have got to live through 32 years of great history here. Man, I am really looking forward to the next 4 or 5 of the future. And get to be, somebody said, if you're not the lead dog, the view never changes. I said, well, I still want to be in the harness. I'm just willing to not be the lead dog for a while. And looking forward to what God's going to do here in this church with what's going to go on. So I thank you for that, for allowing me to announce that, for allowing me to share that with you. Pray, be praying. And as always, we're as transparent as we can be. When we know something, you'll know something, okay? And we'll let you know what's going on.